Today we're going to talk about what it's like being in healthcare IT. Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Zach with IT Career Questions. Today I'm bringing in my personal experience working in the healthcare industry in the IT department for a hospital. Before I go any further with this video, working in a hospital environment has by far been my most favorite, enjoyable experience that I've had working in IT. It's always busy, which is something that I love. Technology is changing all the time, and the people that I've worked with are all part of the same mission. We're all there to help people. And one of the things that was drilled into my head when I first started there during orientation is that everybody who works for the hospital, whether you work as a janitor or in maintenance or in IT, your job ultimately can affect a patient's life. And you may not directly work with a patient, but what you are doing will affect their lives. So when you're working IT in a hospital, you always have to think about that fact that, yeah, the systems and computers and the users that you are servicing are all there to help the patients. That's just a big thing to think about as you're going and looking into healthcare IT as a career. And again, it was by far my favorite job experience I've ever had. So before we get into the meat of the bones in this video, I want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Cybrary. If you guys are looking to get some IT training, I highly suggest you guys go check out cybrary.it. There's a link in the description below. They offer the best IT training out there. And if you guys are looking to get into cybersecurity, they have courses specifically geared towards some of the cybersecurity roles in the field. Go check out the link in the description and use the coupon code ITCQ50 and save 50% off the premium membership. So my experience, I've had 3.5 years working in a hospital IT environment. I supported over 1,000 users, over 700 different devices. I started there as an information systems technician, which is about a level 2 position. I was promoted to senior information systems technician, and then I left that position as mobile device administrator. The day-to-day in a hospital can be crazy. And when I say day-to-day, it can sometimes be day to night. It never stops. A hospital basically never sleeps. There's something always happening within a hospital environment. A hospital operates 24/7, 365. So the systems that you support need to do the same. Now, if you enjoy environments that can be crazy and hectic at times, a hospital environment can be a perfect place for you. It's something that I thoroughly enjoyed, so I would definitely go back working in a hospital if given the opportunity again. So before we get into the day-to-day, it's really important to note that every day in a hospital IT environment is a new journey. Every day can bring you a new chaotic issue, or sometimes it may not be quite as bad as the previous day. But the good thing to note is it's always going to be keeping you engaged. So a lot of what you'll deal with working in a healthcare IT environment, being in the operations side, being a technician or sysadmin, network admin, those types of positions, you'll often run across hardware issues, application issues. You'll have to support Microsoft Office. You'll have to support specific applications related to departments. So cardiology, for instance, they have specific applications that monitor heart rates and things like that. So you'll have to know those applications and programs and how to support and troubleshoot those. Printer support is a big one. So configuring printers and troubleshooting printers. I hate printers, but you do have to support printers, unfortunately. And then a couple things to note. Here's a couple things that you are always going to have open on your. And here's some things that you'll pretty much always have open on your computer. Email, your ticketing system, Active Directory, a command prompt or PowerShell, you're monitoring terminal servers, vSphere. Those are just naming a few things that you'll constantly have open on your day-to-day as you're monitoring different issues and troubleshooting things. So just keep that in mind. Some other things that you might be doing are updating different servers, so providing those Windows updates or updating some of the applications on servers. Maybe you're building images, deploying images, and deploying computers out into the environment. Maybe you're doing moves or you're moving one department to another area. That happens very often in hospital environments. And then if you're lucky, you're going to work for a great IT team that will actually teach you how to configure different virtual machines or show you how to configure ports on a switch. Of course, a lot of what you're going to be doing is end user support. So you're going to be answering the phone a lot and answering those tickets a lot. You might have to service people in person. But it's important to note that sometimes doctors and especially nurses can be very difficult to deal with. And it's understandable. You don't know the situation that they're coming to you with. They could have a patient on the table and it could be a very critical issue. They may be very upset and the system's not working, so you need to support that. So maintaining patience and a cool, calm, collective attitude is going to be one thing that can greatly help you during end user support in a hospital environment. I have patient support on here again. As I noted earlier in this video, you aren't going to necessarily directly deal with patients. However, a lot of what you're doing will impact patients' care. So the patient support leads me to my most memorable experience. It's not very often that you're gonna find yourself going into patients' rooms to fix computers or going into surgery to fix computers. However, I had the opportunity where I had to go into surgery while somebody was actually being operated on to fix a computer because it wasn't able to pull up the image that they needed. It was an x-ray and they obviously needed that very badly during that surgery, and the computer just wasn't working. So I had to go into the surgery room and I had to scrub up. I had, my complete scrub outfit on, the hat and the scrubs, everything, washed up. And the nurse was walking me in the room and she's like, for patient privacy, please don't look at the patient. And my first reaction was, if I look at that patient, you're gonna have 2 people on a stretcher because I will pass out. So needless to say, I held up like a blinder. It's like, I'm not looking at this because I would definitely faint at the sight of somebody being operated on. So that was my most memorable experience. I got the issue fixed, but that was the first and really only time that I ever had to go into surgery while somebody was being operated on. And definitely very memorable experience. And again, that doesn't happen all the time. You might often find that you have to go into patient rooms. So up on the different floors, patients could be in there for a variety of reasons. And oftentimes you're gonna find that they have different types of terminals in the patient rooms, and you may have to service those from time to time, and that's not too big of a deal. So another thing that I wanna talk about with healthcare IT is the terminology that you're often gonna hear working in a healthcare IT environment. So a few notable terms that you're often gonna hear doing support is EMR or EHR, which is electronic medical records or electronic health records. And you'll often hear those terms being used in relation to like EMR applications and systems and things like that. That's where if you ever go to the doctor and they're on a computer and they're inputting information, that's one of the EMR systems. So all the data and information that they have on you is stored in that system. So a lot of times from their EMR systems, they can pull in like x-rays that you've had done, any lab work that you had done, and things like that. And those are all systems that you might have to support at some time as well. You'll also hear PHI, which is protected health information. That's a real big deal working in a hospital because patients' safety and privacy is a very big concern, which leads us to HIPAA. And we did spell it right. Nobody can spell this right. It's the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. That's a very big deal. And violating HIPAA it can actually get you fined or jailed. You'll learn more about that as you get into a hospital environment, but understanding some of these different terms will definitely greatly help you. So again, this was just kind of briefing you on healthcare IT, more specifically the operations side. We'll do another video where we talk more about the application side, but we kind of talked about the day-to-day. We talked about some of the applications and programs that you can be running. And if you guys have questions, I'd love to hear from you. And that's all we got for you guys in today's video. Make sure you guys check out the link in the description for Cyber. Use that coupon code ITCQ50, and that's all we got for you. Take it easy.